Hi, I'm Brent Haines with Woodsounds Flutes.
And I'm Madison Haines with Woodsounds Flutes.
So, as you probably know from the first newsletter, it's our 20-year anniversary, and it was just Madison's 20th birthday. And so Julie was actually pregnant, as you probably know, with Madison when I quit my job and started Woodsounds. Yeah. I love that picture of you sitting on my lap while tuning a flute. Yeah, it's awesome. We'll do some fun things with that in the next little bit. But this month of August of 2022, we'd like to offer you a nice promotion in celebration of our 20-year anniversary and our gratitude to you for all that you've done over the years. And you all know you are a very important part of us, and we're grateful to have been able to make instruments that you can make music on. It's a great joy for us.
Yes.
So tell them about the promotion, sweetie.
Absolutely. In celebration of our 20th anniversary, flute orders placed in the month of August are eligible for a 20% off discount, and we are very excited to give you guys this discount.
Yeah.
If you want to take advantage of this promotion, use the promo code Celebrating 20 Years.
The promo code will also be in the newsletter, so you can cut and paste from there if you like, or you can just call us. We are so excited to be working together. It has been so fun the last month and a half or so that Madison's been here with us and running the Woodsounds shop. You may know from the last newsletter that Madison had made the decision and actually approached me on Father's Day. I got the best Father's Day gift ever. And she said, Dad, I'd like to come work in the shop and become a really significant part of Woodsounds. And who knows, maybe someday take it over. We'll see. And man, I'm just like a dream come true for me. You know, and not just because she's my daughter and I love working with her, but also because I know her abilities. I know her skill sets, at least many of them. I've watched her interact with clients all throughout the years. Many of you know Madison from festivals or other events that we've been at. She's been selling flutes with me since she was...
I think I sold my first flute when I was 8.
8 years old?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was awesome. That was really... I think... Wasn't that in Tennessee?
Yeah.
I think it was.
That was in Tennessee.
Yeah, it was in Tennessee.
I was a guinea pig.
Yeah. Oh, it was amazing. Just so much fun. And I'm so grateful for the wonderful clients that worked with her and allowed this young child to teach them how to play the flute. And it's just been an incredible amount of fun throughout the years. But to be able to have Madison's abilities and her natural inclinations to come into the shop and manage the shop, for me, I knew it would be an amazing fit. And so, Madison, why don't you tell us a little bit about what it is that you feel like you're bringing to Woodsounds?
Absolutely. The first couple of things that I immediately felt like I could efficiently bring to Woodsounds was my organization skills. That's one of the biggest things I've done throughout my entire life. You can ask my father. I probably reorganized his office a million times.
Oh, yeah. I'm still looking for something.
It's probably true. So that was one of the first things that I immediately saw could be definitely improved in the shop, was the organization and decluttering of Woodsounds. And I've been doing that over the past couple of weeks, and not only have I seen it help production, but I've also seen it help morale. It's easier to find things, it's easier to do the job when there's not a bunch of looming things over you, and where you can find the tools that you're working with and the ones that you've been wanting. My second thing that I wanted to work on was reorganizing the workflow in general, the way that we start the flutes to the end of the flutes, through the database, through the whole system. I reorganized and redid in a way that allowed the flutes to come out more efficiently.
Madison, I gotta tell you, I love coming into the shop. I love the organization. I love it. It is so beautiful. And I am so grateful to the person that you are and your abilities and your ability to communicate as well. My goodness, you guys, you ought to see your work. We hired 2 new young kids to help out in the shop on, kind of part-time basis. It's part of what kind of drives me personally. I'd like to be an active role in the development of a young person, giving them opportunities to have experiences that they wouldn't be able to otherwise, particularly, if they happen to be technically minded and things. I love it. And when I watch you work with Jacob and Daniel, it is just fabulous. I would love to work for her. I would. You're just a delight to be around. But tell us a little bit because, well, let me back up just so y'all understand. We have a database that we built, I don't know, I guess going on 13 years ago.
It was about 13 years.
It needs some updating. But the general way it works pretty good. But the way that we tracked how flutes moved through the process, it was not working. Over the years, I've tried many different ways of organizing that. And one of the problems that we run into is that when something happens, like equipment breaks, people get sick, when those things take time, it pushes the entire process back.
Yep.
And the last system that Josh had created with me, we utilized the date of the Monday that we expected to be starting that flute. And it became this big weight on us.
It's not a thing that works because you can't account for those variables.
Yeah.
It's just
too
unaccountable.
hard. Yeah, at least at our size of shop.
Too small.
Yeah, to be able to really figure that out yet. I think there may be ways to do it.
Probably, but
if there is, I think you got the solutions. Tell us about how you've changed how we track the workflow of flutes in the shop.
Absolutely. So in the database itself, there are different categories that you can put a flute into. So like when you first call in to place an order for the flute, it goes under a certain status name. And that's what my dad was talking about, is when you guys would first call in, they would be like, well, we most likely can start this flute on this Monday, so we'll put it under this date. Which is great when everything is working fine, but again, when those variables of somebody calling out sick or equipment breaking come in, it messes that whole system up, and then the database is practically useless.
Yeah, it actually becomes oppressive, frankly.
Yeah,
it feels like a heavy weight.
Yeah, it becomes like a looming ghost behind you of just this huge monster that you have to deal with. And that's not helpful when you're trying to find flutes to make, seeing the priorities, getting the flutes out. And so I've been reorganizing and redoing the whole database as well. So I've now made it so that they go through different stages. Instead of having a certain date, we have the different stages, we have the different priorities, and a whole slew of other things that have been added. And we used to have what we call travelers, and they were a little piece of paper.
Yeah, let's actually. So it used to be that we would print out our traveler, and it was called a traveler because it would actually go with the flute from process to process to process, and that's a fairly common industry practice in manufacturing. But with us, we're not really organized in that kind of a fashion. We're not large enough for that to really work well.
Yeah.
So how are we using the travelers now?
So the way that I have the travelers now is I love binders, so I got a binder, and it's for our jobs. And we go through all these different stages, and they travel just in the binder itself. So that way we don't have to spend half the time looking for the traveler for the flute in general. We can just directly find the binder, and we can find where it's at, and we can get it going.
Yeah.
And it's a lot quicker.
A lot quicker. The other thing that I like about it is what the physical flute, well, those of you that have been to the shop and seen a tour of our shop, you're familiar with the trays that are on the large table, trays for different flutes, and each of those trays, there's a white one, a gray one, and a black one. And each one originally was supposed to be for a point of progression that the flute had reached. And in order for that to really work, you have to keep it up. And it just wasn't getting done the way it needed to. So tell us about those trays and the white. Tell us about the white tray. Maybe we can show them some video of the flutes that are actually in it right now.
Absolutely. So the first white tray is the very beginning of the flute. It is when we pull the blanks of the giant wall of wood, we pull it down from there, we get it started, we get it boring, we get the mouthpieces, so on and so forth. That's all done in the white tray. And then you move on to the gray tray, and those are actually ready for finish. And so those get moved out to go get the finish done, those get added on. And then the black tray is when the flute is actually completely finished. The flute is done, maybe we're just waiting on a totem, maybe there's something else that we're waiting on, but the flute itself is done. And it's also been utilized for repair, so if you send your flute back to us and we're repairing it, it's on the black tray, so that way we know that it's a repair.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, it's, you guys, I know it's kind of tough to imagine all the changes, and it's too early yet for us to really have taken full advantage of this new organization. But I know in my heart, it's going to make a huge difference.
Yeah.
I can feel it. I can feel it happening. I can feel things coming together. I can feel the flow coming together. And as Madison finishes up with her training and trains some of these other people, we'll be able to get our flutes into your hands quicker and in, I believe, a better quality way. Very excited about that, Madison.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be awesome. We really appreciate you.
Yes.
Last night I was talking to a really a good friend and old client. I guess Martin Barter's probably been buying flutes from me for probably at least 18 years, I guess. At least 18 years. And he's just a wonderful man. And he's gotten into making knives. Oh my gosh, they're incredible.
Oh my gosh, they're gorgeous.
Just absolutely drop dead gorgeous, but it's function over form. And then the form is perfect.
Yes.
And that's kind of how I feel about our flutes,
yeah.
Right? It function over form, but let's make the form perfect, yep. Right?
We love you, and I am personally so excited to come work in the shop and getting these beautiful flutes into your guys' hands. You guys have an absolutely wonderful day.
Whether you're dreaming of your first native flute or wanting to create some custom instrument, Woodsounds is where your dreams can be made real. My name is Brent Haines, and you can reach me at 801-822-1415 or brent@woodsounds.com. Have a great day.